All right, if you're a computer science student, you know this feeling. I mean, you know it all too well. The deadline's staring you down, your code's a mess, and you're just scrambling for a lifeline. And that scramble, it almost always leads to a big question about one of the biggest names in coding help out there. Is it legit? Well, today, we're going to dig in and find out.
I mean, this is where it all begins, right? That moment of just pure desperation. You've slammed into a wall, you've tried everything you can think of, and that clock on the wall is just ticking louder and louder. This scene, it perfectly captures that pressure cooker feeling that makes you start looking for help in the first place.
And boom, there's the question. Because let's be real, you're not trying to cheat, you're just trying to get unstuck. But you also know that the line between getting some help and, well, academic misconduct can get really blurry. So let's go ahead and explore that line together.
Yeah, we're calling this the 2 a.m. question. Why? Because you're not usually asking this at 2 in the afternoon. Nope. This question is born out of pure stress and the kind of unique challenges that only CS students really get.
And look, this isn't about just one hard assignment. The pressure is like built into the system. Your grade often hangs on these giant all-or-nothing projects. You're trying to wrap your head around super abstract stuff like recursion or data structures. And hey, unlike an essay where you can kind of argue your point, with code, it either works or it doesn't. That's it. This is the reality that sends people searching for help.
Okay, so if we're going to answer the big question, we first have to agree on what we're talking about. What does legit even mean when it comes to a coding help service? Because I can tell you right now, it's about way more than just getting the correct answer.
So first up, is the service actually trying to help you learn something, or is it just handing you the answers on a silver platter? A legit service, a real one, should be a teaching tool, something that actually makes you smarter.
Number 2, does it respect academic integrity? You know, your school's honor code. Because any service that's basically telling you to pass off someone else's work as your own, well, that's a huge flashing neon red flag.
And this one's crucial. Getting the right output is great and all, but understanding why the code works, that's the entire point of your degree. A legit service has to, absolutely has to, focus on explaining the logic underneath it all.
And finally, let's get practical for a second. Can you even use this thing without setting off all the alarm bells on Turnitin or whatever your school uses? The answer here is tricky, because it really depends just as much on you as it does on the service itself.
So all of this, it really boils down to one single, super important idea. You have to understand the massive difference between a tutor and a ghostwriter.
Think of it this way. A legit service acts like a tutor. It explains the why, it walks you through the steps, it helps you find and fix your own code. A ghostwriter? They just do the work for you. They hand you a finished solution and pretty much wink and nod for you to submit it. See the difference? A tutor wants to teach you so you don't need them anymore. A ghostwriter wants to keep you coming back.
All right, so let's say you found a tool that's on the up and up, one that acts like a tutor. How do you actually use it the smart way, the ethical way? Because believe me, the top students, they have a system for this. And it's a skill that will help you long after you've graduated.
Okay, here's the 4-step playbook that makes all the difference. Step 1, you have to try it yourself first. Seriously, you got to struggle with it a bit. Step 2, when you get stuck, use the help for that one specific part, not the whole assignment. Step 3, compare their explanation to what you tried. Figure out where you went wrong. And step 4, and this is the big one, it's totally non-negotiable, you close the guide and you rewrite the entire thing from scratch in your own way. That's how the knowledge actually sticks. And honestly, this whole process is pretty much the job of a software engineer.
Let's make this real. Picture this. You're working on that classic CS assignment, the binary search tree in Java. You can add nodes just fine, but when you try to traverse it to print everything out, you get nothing. No errors, no crashes, just silence. You are completely and totally stuck.
Okay, in that situation, a legit helper, a tutor, isn't just going to give you the code. No way. They're going to explain why it's failing. They'll probably point to your recursion and ask, hey, where's your base case? What happens when you hit a null node? They'll teach you how to trace your code, maybe just by throwing in some print statements so you can see for yourself where things are going off the rails. This doesn't just get you an A on the assignment, it teaches you how to debug recursion, a skill you're going to need for like the rest of your career.
But let's be super clear about your part in all of this. Even with the best tool in the world, the ethics are on you. You have to respect some boundaries. Rule number 1, never, and I mean never, submit code you can't explain. If your professor asked you to whiteboard it and you'd panic, you don't really know it. Don't copy-paste line for line. Always, always treat this kind of help as a learning tool, not a cheat sheet, and always rewrite it in your own structure. That's the deal.
Okay, we've figured out what legit means, we've got our tutor versus ghostwriter model, and we know how to use these tools the smart way. I think it's time for the final verdict. Let's answer the big question.
So, after all of that, is AssignmentDude legit?
The answer is yes, but with a huge asterisk. Yes, it's legit if you use it as a learning tool, as a resource to help you understand coding, not to do it for you.
But on the flip side, the answer is a big fat no if you're just looking for a shortcut. If you're trying to bypass the actual work, then no service on earth is legit for that. Because that's not tutoring, my friend, that's ghostwriting. So let's bring it back. Yes, it can be legit if you use it ethically. If you follow that 4-step process we talked about, to get unstuck, to finally understand a concept, and to guide your own work, then it can be a really powerful tool.
But here's the bottom line. No, it can't replace your responsibility. No tool, no website, no tutor can do the learning for you. You still have to own your code, understand the material, and act with integrity. In the end, whether any tool is legit, that really starts and ends with you.
You know, this quote from a mentor really just nails it. The students who really make it, who really succeed, they're not the ones who never ask for help. They're the ones who ask for help the right way, without ever giving up ownership of their own learning.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's your take? Have you ever used a service like this? Did you use it ethically? And more importantly, did it actually help you learn? Because the real answer to is it legit, it's all about whether you're using these tools to build your skills for the long run or just to survive the next deadline. That's the question that really matters.